There's a fruit that many seniors eat every morning, believing it's one of the healthiest choices they can make. But what if that habit is quietly damaging your brain? In today's video, you'll learn exactly which fruit doctors now warn against after 60, and why it may be linked to memory loss in elderly, increased inflammation, and signs of cognitive decline. You'll also discover what to eat instead, fruit options that protect your brain, support joint health, and actually improve energy and focus. We'll break down the real impact of hidden sugar in fruits, explain how some healthy choices can lead to elderly confusion, and show you how a few simple swaps in your routine can protect you from a future of forgetfulness, brain fog, and joint pain. This isn't just theory. It's backed by research and the lived experiences of seniors who made the switch and felt the difference. The changes are simple, but the benefits are life-changing. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what not to eat after 60, which fruits silently accelerate mental decline, and which ones actually slow it down. If you've ever felt foggy, off balance, or not quite yourself lately, don't assume it's just aging. Stay with me, because what you'll hear today may be the missing piece to restoring clarity, strength, and confidence. Starting with your next bite, the hidden sugar bomb in many seniors' kitchens. It's sitting right there on the kitchen counter. Ripe, colorful, familiar. For decades, this fruit has been praised as healthy, and most seniors reach for it without a second thought. But here's the catch. Behind that sweet taste lies a hidden sugar bomb. And for those over 60, especially with a slowing metabolism and more sensitive brain chemistry, that sugar may quietly be feeding inflammation, insulin spikes, and even memory loss in elderly. It doesn't start with a diagnosis. It starts with breakfast. What most people don't realize is that this fruit is rich in fructose, a type of sugar that the aging body struggles to process efficiently. When consumed daily, especially in the morning, it can lead to sugar crashes, mood swings, and brain fog. Over time, this seemingly innocent choice contributes to cognitive decline, especially when paired with other elderly diet mistakes. And while it feels natural, that doesn't mean it's harmless, especially not after 60. Many of my older patients have shared how they'd start the day with this fruit, thinking it was the best food for seniors. But once we made a small switch, replacing it with low-sugar, anti-inflammatory fruits like blueberries or avocado, they noticed a difference. More clarity, less fog, more energy before noon. It's a reminder that sometimes what we've always believed to be healthy might need a second look, especially when it comes to what not to eat after 60. How this fruit affects memory and brain health after 60. Here's what many seniors don't know. The brain after 60 becomes more vulnerable to certain sugars, especially fructose. The fruit we mentioned earlier, often seen as a healthy choice, is packed with it. And the trouble isn't just with blood sugar. It's what happens in the brain. Research has shown that high fructose intake can shrink the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. That means more forgetfulness, more elderly confusion, and a silent drift into cognitive decline. All from something eaten with good intentions. You see, the aging brain relies on stable fuel, nutrients that support clarity, not chaos. When seniors eat fruits high in hidden sugar, it creates a roller coaster in the bloodstream. The spikes and crashes impact attention, mood, and over time, even brain structure. That's why nutrition for brain health is not just about adding more fruits, but choosing the right ones. Those that nourish without overloading the system. This is especially true for seniors already noticing signs of brain fog or subtle memory shifts. I've seen it firsthand, a woman who couldn't remember why she walked into the room, thinking it was just age. But after a simple adjustment, swapping that daily sugary fruit for one rich in anti-inflammatory compounds, her focus improved. No pills, no prescriptions. Just a smarter plate. This is how powerful food can be. But we need to dig deeper because the story behind sugar doesn't end with memory. It stretches into the joints too. The link between fructose, inflammation, and joint pain. When people think of joint pain, they often blame age, arthritis, or the weather, but rarely their fruit bowl. And yet, high fructose fruits, especially when eaten daily, can quietly ignite inflammation in the body. After 60, this becomes even more critical. The body's ability to process sugar slows down, and excess fructose gets stored as fat or triggers an inflammatory cascade. For many seniors, that's the hidden cause behind the morning stiffness, sore knees, or the ache after a short walk, symptoms often misread as just aging. Fructose doesn't just stay in the gut, it affects the bloodstream, the liver, and joints. Chronic inflammation linked to a high fructose diet has been associated with cartilage breakdown and worsening mobility. That's why doctor advice for seniors increasingly points to the need for anti-inflammatory choices. This isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about maintaining independence. Because once the legs weaken, once walking becomes hard, life starts to shrink. Simple movements feel heavier. Stairs become mountains. Now imagine this. Instead of reaching for that sugary fruit, Maria starts her day with a bowl of chia pudding, topped with berries. Anti-inflammatory fruits known to soothe the body instead of aggravate it. Within weeks, the swelling in her fingers begins to ease, and her morning routine feels lighter. The link is clear. Aging and nutrition walk hand in hand. But what if she still wants sweetness without the damage? That's exactly where we're going next. Better fruit alternatives that support cognitive function. Not all fruits are enemies. Far from it. In fact, the right ones can become powerful allies for seniors looking to preserve memory, balance blood sugar, and reduce inflammation. After 60, the brain craves stability. Fruits like blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries are packed with anti-inflammatory compounds, antioxidants, and natural fiber, all essential for protecting the aging brain. These fruits don't flood the body with hidden sugar, and that's exactly why they're a cornerstone in any solid cognitive decline diet. One of the best parts. These alternatives don't just taste good, they work. Blueberries, for example, have been shown in studies to improve memory and delay age-related mental decline. Avocados, yes, technically a fruit, support brain health after 60 by delivering healthy fats that fuel cognitive clarity. Even small daily swaps like replacing bananas or grapes with a handful of berries can change everything. This is the kind of senior nutrition tip that seems simple, but the impact builds over time, quietly protecting what matters most. Maria didn't need a radical diet. She needed clarity. Once she understood that some fruits fuel her memory while others feed inflammation, her choices got easier. Breakfast changed. So did her focus. And slowly she felt like herself again. But to truly protect the brain, it's not just about choosing better fruits, it's about creating a consistent, sustainable routine. And that's exactly what we'll build next. How to build a brain-friendly fruit routine. Creating a fruit routine that protects your brain doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be intentional. For seniors, that means knowing what to eat instead after 60 and what not to eat after 60. A brain-friendly plate starts with low-glycemic fruits. Blueberries, avocado, kiwi, and even a bit of apple with skin for fiber. These choices don't overload the brain with sugar, and they offer long-lasting energy instead of short-term spikes. The key is moderation and timing, especially in the morning when the brain is most vulnerable to sugar crashes. What should be avoided? Fruits that look harmless but carry a heavy glycemic load. Grapes, bananas, watermelon, and even pineapple are often labeled as healthy aging foods, but in reality, they can sabotage nutrition for brain health if consumed daily. These fruits are the quiet culprits behind senior memory decline and aging brain symptoms that many don't see coming. A simple checklist on the fridge, what to eat more, what to limit, can be a game changer for Maria and others navigating elderly diet mistakes. A good habit to build. Keep your memory fruits within reach. A small bowl of frozen berries ready for smoothies. A ripe avocado by the cutting board. A printed note reminding you to skip the banana at breakfast. This isn't about restriction. It's about protection. When seniors shift from autopilot eating to intentional choices, the brain responds. And sometimes that response shows up in the most beautiful ways. Remembering a name, finishing a sentence, feeling sharp again. And now that we've built the full picture, it's time to reveal what most doctors wish every senior knew from the start. She stood at the kitchen counter this morning, knife in hand, peeling that same fruit she's trusted for years. It looked harmless, familiar, but today something paused her. A moment of doubt, a question, and maybe that's where change begins, not with a diagnosis, but with awareness. So let me ask you, what's the one food in your routine that you've never questioned, but maybe should? Because memory doesn't fade overnight. It fades with habits, with quiet choices we repeat without thinking. And if that fruit, so sweet, so innocent, can slowly erode your clarity, your independence, even your name, then isn't it time to take your power back? You've now seen how fruits that affect memory, hidden sugar, and elderly diet mistakes can shape your future. And more importantly, you've seen what to do about it. So here's your step. Share this video with someone you love. A daughter, a friend, someone who's noticing the same signs. And subscribe to this channel, not just for content, but for truth, for clarity, for the kind of answers that help you protect what matters most: your memory, your mind, and your moments. Because what you do today might be the reason someone remembers your name tomorrow.